Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I have a different firearm I acquired recently. This is still a shotgun. I'm becoming a more fan of a shotgun, but this is a Tristar. As you know, I have another Tristar. I like the company so far. Works perfectly without any issues, no problems at all. But this is a Tristar KRX mag-fed semi-automatic shotgun. So I did open this box before I had to go through stuff. I put everything back in how it was. I'm gonna open and see what it comes with and basics about the gun. There are multiple videos about this particular gun. There are some information that I personally felt might help for a new person who is trying to decide on purchasing a new semi-automatic mag-fed shotgun. This is also based off of AR-15 platform. It looks more like AR-15. So let's go ahead and open this without wasting too much of time. Well, as it says here, it says it needs a break-in period and high-powered or magnum loads should be used for the break-in period. It's not specifying how many rounds you have to go through it. From other reviewers, what I found out was for them, didn't have to use heavy loads, target loads or game loads worked fine. Even the low brass loads worked fine, but I'm going to try it out. In this video itself I'll have all of those information about what loads I used and all of those things. So when you open it, once you remove this, then you have the manual. Make sure you go through it. It has instructions on disassembly and all of those. Good information. I am a person who usually prefer to go through a video of some kind before I do any of those. And it comes with 2 mags. These are 5-round mags. One thing I've realized is it has this slot. It looks like it's for a 10-round mag. It did not come with it, possibly the restrictions of our country or the state where I am in. Tristar decided not to put. It's my assumption. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it looks like a 10-round mag fits in there. Yeah, there are 10-round mags available for this. I'm getting one. I'll put those information. Let's take this back right out. It's a pretty nice snug fit. The packing was good. I liked it. All right. This is how it comes out of the box. So there is no need of any assembly for using it, but it comes prepared and ready to fire. So all what you'll have to do is like load up your magazine and fire if you don't want to add your sights. So it also comes with a handle which goes in here on the Picatinny rail, and it has a front sight. Front sight that also slides in here. So how the front sight works is it has a small button right here, so you can push that and slide it in. There you go. That's how you put the front sight in. This one goes in like this. If you'd like to use it, it has two screws. Like you can do it by hand. You don't need any special tool for any of those. So put it wherever is comfortable for you, and simply tighten this. Once you tighten it, these two is good to go. If you have your magazine loaded, push it in and you're ready to rock and roll. Most of other people have mentioned, but still, this lip, if you have a round in it, the lip goes down, so it will go in directly. If you don't have a round, then you'll have to like finagle with it a little bit so it goes in. But the whole purpose of this is to have a round in it, right? So that's not a hindrance. But keep in mind, you don't have it goes in straight, smooth, no issues at all. So I'm actually going to move this box out of the way. That's all what. Yeah, there's one more thing that comes with the box. It's a chalk key. It has a chalk. Most Benelli chalks works with it. I mean, I was able to hand tighten it and remove it by hand itself. I tried using the chalk key, it works. But I would recommend tightening it with the chalk key. But we'll get to that. So, that being said, that is the gun. So it's fairly light, I would say, but it's not that light. It's made of mostly polymer. I don't know what material this is. I believe this is also polymer. But it feels sturdy. It doesn't feel plasticky or anything. So I like that feature too. It's pretty nice. So the other thing I want to try out is the rubber pad in here. It is kind of soft, but at the same time it is hard, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be. Like when I try firing it, I will find that out and I will update that, but it didn't feel like super soft to me when I first took it out of the box. Another thing I felt was when at the shop, when they gave this to me, I tried the charging handle. The charging handle has a rubber thing. It's for your comfort. So I pulled on it, and the charging handle's rubber thing, it came loose. So I just felt like it is kind of a tough. I mean, kind of uncomfortable when it comes loose. You can use it without it, but I put it back in. Once you get used to it, it is a little comfortable to use it with it. But make sure you are used to using the charging handle with the rubber piece. It actually helps. It's smoother, especially if you're out on a cold day. This will definitely help. So the mag release is similar to the AR style, is right here. So AR shooters will have no problem navigating through it. The bolt release is right here. Your safety on and off. So basically you can do everything with your hand itself. And the charging handle, you'll have to take your hand off of the trigger to charge it once. Or you can charge it with the left hand, whichever is comfortable depending on how you shoot. I'll leave those up to individual users and their preference. So other thing, you can mount your scopes, whatever you like. You can remove these, and that should help you to properly use the firearm if you would like to. The good thing I like about it is it has Picatinny rail all the way, as I mentioned earlier. It has accessories that you can add on the bottom and on the sides. So that is, I mean, on the side, I don't know. This is, to me, it looks more, I don't know. It's not a full size Picatinny rail, so I cannot say on the side it is something that you can mount, but definitely at the bottom. So if you would like to add a light or laser or something, or a combo, you can do that. Recommend doing that, especially if you're using it for a home defense gun. This is a 12 gauge shotgun, so that's why I wanted to try out the butt pad and make sure it is soft. It might have quite a good recoil. It's not that heavy, so I'm expecting a little bit more recoil on it. Another thing about this particular gun is dismantling this. So I have to dismantle the gun. That's one thing I'm gonna get to right now. Before we do that, let's do one more thing. The choke, right? I had this happen to my Stevens 320. I had the choke installed, and I did, as you know, I posted some videos of firing it. I went through some rounds and I had trouble taking the choke out. So that was not a choke like this, but I could not take it out. I tried with this key, I tried with different keys. I tried the key that came with it. Unfortunately, it just did not work. It did not work for me to get it out, so I probably will have to take it to a gunsmith and take it out. But when I was at a gun shop, I was recommended to use chalk tube lube. So I highly recommend using this. Like if you're installing the chalk, just it prevents it from seizing. That's what I was told. So I took the lube, put it on the threads, spread it out, and put it back in. Use enough to keep it nice and easy to remove. It actually helps to remove when you have to remove it. So lengthwise is 20 inches. With the choke, it's 20 inches. Without the choke, it's a little lower. If you have a choke that's flush inside, then the length will be a little less. It's similar to my other Tristar Cobra that I have. Lengthwise, it's similar. That's one thing I like about it. It's not too long either. So another thing is that I found a little challenging was the takedown and putting it back on. Takedown wasn't that hard. Takedown wasn't too bad of a deal. But putting it back in, the instructions I saw in the video, he did a great job. However, I could not put it back in as he said. The person who demonstrated on the video is an expert. He is possibly a gunsmith. So he probably missed out one vital information, but he followed that procedure. So I noticed on the comments too, some people were having the same trouble as I did. So after playing around for a good 15-20 minutes, I was like, I took it down. I have to clean it, but you know, now I cannot put it back in. Is it going to be a position where I'll have to take this back to the shop and have them put it in? But playing around with some time, I was able to get it back in. So let's start that procedure. And next thing is the takedown and cleaning it. I'm not going to go over on how to clean, but I'm going to go over on how to take it down. So to take down, you can unscrew this. So this handle, it is fixed way behind on how I set up. If I put it forward, like the middle of these two pieces, like this is where the separation is. So if this is moved forward, then I'll have to take down the handle. But in this case, I don't have to take down the handle to break down the gun. One other thing I realized is like it is better to take this rubber piece off while taking it down. I felt that's much more convenient. I'll go through the reason why. But there are other videos that I saw which definitely helped me on how to take it down. But at the same time, I had challenge in putting it back in. So it is always a good idea if you get a new gun, make sure you take it down, you clean it before you fire your first round. So to take down, unscrew this. Keep that separate, and this slides out. The front side can stay there. Alright, so now that's how it is. If you have the magazine, remove the magazine and keep it. As I said, this can stay because this was an joint to this. And next thing is to remove this bolt. So the retention nut, which is here, a normal pump action shotgun is slightly different. It's easier. Once you take this off, this whole thing slides out. But this one, it will not slide out. That's fixed. So you need to take much more pieces out. So slowly, like, the reason why I took this out is because to take this lever out for the charging handle, to take the charging handle out, there's like a small notch. You have to move, push it down a little bit so it will align correctly. With this, it is hard to see if it's aligned properly. So if it's aligned properly, then just wiggle it out. There we go. It kind of locks in where it has to go with. Take it out. Keep it safe. Next thing, there is a release lever. Push it, and this thing, pull it up. Slowly take it out, like pull out the barrel. So be very gentle with it. Like when you pull it out, don't just yank it out. Like just break it loose and slowly take the barrel out. Now you can take the bolt carrier out. So this is 3 pieces, and the spring out, it is now fully disassembled. Keep in mind, do not lose this. This will come off too, so you can clean it. Make sure you lubricate it. Looks like it has a O-ring or something, so it's good to lubricate those. Now this is the tricky part I had, which I had to deal with too. Putting it back together. It is easy for me now, but when I first did it, it wasn't that easy. So first of all, make sure you put this correctly. So it goes like this, it goes flush like that, and your bolt carrier goes like that. So keep that together. Take the gun, put the spring through, and now you can slowly slide this in. Once that is slided in, you can push this to lock it in place, which is locked in place. And now you can put your bolt carrier back in. Just push it down a little bit. For me, it makes it easier to pull it down all the way and put the bolt back in. The other video that I saw says like slowly push it down a little bit, and it never worked for me that well. It's much easier when I come all the way down. So now that part is done. Now you take your barrel. This is another section that I had challenged. So that also it says like you can now come and set it. It never goes back for me. Like whenever I tried, it just gets stuck. See that? It gets stuck there. So what I have to do is like I have to pull all the way down and then go seat it. So the bolt carrier goes all the way down for me. Once it is all the way down, then the barrel goes in flush. So now it's all good. Put the retention nut back in. Goes to the first thread, falls down into the next thread. Right. There you go. And now the cover goes back on, and tighten it. This piece that we removed from the charging handle, put it back in. It's all up to you if you like to. I started liking it because it's kind of soft to use, and make sure it's all assembled right. Yes, it's all good. Board goes all the way back, fires, all good. So when there is a mag, the bolt carrier gets stuck open if there is no ammo in it. If there is ammo, it will not. Since there is no ammo, it will actually get logged in here. And the release, bolt release will not depress. Like there's no way you can press it until you remove the mag. Remove the mag. It closes. So another thing that I want to bring into your attention is the trigger. I don't know how comfortable everyone is. Slightly different from every other trigger I have had. I haven't tested on the weight, but I think 6 pounds is what I saw somewhere. Someone who tested it. It has no drag. Yeah, there's no drag, but the trigger seems a little heavy, or it takes good amount of pressure to pull the trigger. It's necessarily not a bad thing. I'm not complaining, but keep that in mind. My other shotgun that I have, it's not like this. The trigger is much softer. It's not all the way up here too. The trigger is all the way closer, so I felt that was I like that much better than this, I think. But that's personal preference. You will have to use it and find out how that is. So stay tuned. There is more content for the same thing coming. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, please keep going down. Next we will actually take it to the range, shoot some clays with it. I'll also try to do some shooting with some water bottles or other stuff that's laying around, and see how it is.